So there's just been like a lot of things going on. First things first, I've been playing Tamagotchi Life and I love it. It's been making my days so good. Like every day is just better. Sorry, there's a cat on my lap and he's bothering me. But like I just been playing Tamagotchi Life and having a great time and living my life and enjoying it. But on top of that, I've been using the internet because I'm always on the internet. Like I just have to be. And I feel like there's just so much happening, but like also nothing happening. It's like weird. But a big part of why I'm making this video is because I just feel like I probably say this so much, but so many people have just like lost like I don't know all compassion or care for other people. And I just don't get it. Like I saw this video and it was like a trans woman at like a comedy show or whatever, and she was like, well, like the comedian was like, "Are you trans?" And then answered, and then her job was a defense contractor. And I'm glad the comedian didn't let it go. The comedian obviously was like, "Huh, like, so you're making the rocket motors to blow up children?" And she was just like, "Yeah, but I'm going to therapy." Oh, for what? For blowing up the children? No, for my trauma. Who's your trauma from? My dad. Okay. And this is what I'm just saying. Like, we need to get to the point. Like, I'm sorry, your identity does not automatically make you woke or leftist or whatever. Because she was like, "Oh, I'm anti-capitalist." You are not anti-capitalist if you're at the job that blows up children. For colonialist capitalist wars. But whatever. Like, I'm sorry. I could never do a job like that. And I do think I'm better than people that do jobs like that because obviously you lack a certain like humanity to see other people as humans. And the thing is, I see your humanity and I can understand like people that go to the military, I understand. I get it. I get it and I can understand why the military seems like an option, especially for like black people specifically and like marginalized people in the United States of America are basically told like, "Hey, do this, get this." It's like a clear path. A lot of people don't think that much about it. And when you're not in like active conflicts, like if you went to the military right now, I'm going to be like, "Yo, like you're just you want to go to the military so you can actively kill like some brown people, like that's what you're doing." But I understand if somebody like goes to the military when we're not in a conflict and you're just kind of home, you're just stationed somewhere around the world not actually doing anything, but you know you're kind of doing a little bit of occupation or whatever. But I can understand why you can rationalize it. And I can also understand that if you went to the military and then you came back home, you would see the military in a different light and see your actions differently. But then we have like also people that basically just have military families. A big thing, like when you really step back and realize it, so many people just do the jobs other people in their family did. I don't know if part of it is because it just is an easier path because of like the connections, even though you don't always have connections. Like you don't always like if your mom is a nurse and your grandma is a nurse, they might have been nurses at different hospitals. Like you don't have nursing connections through them or whatever. But I don't know what the thought process is. I don't know if maybe it's like a predisposition that people have. Like my family has that sort of thing where everybody is in some sort of medical field or teaching. Like those are the two things that basically everybody does, especially the woman in my family. The woman in my family, medical teaching, that's like kind of what everybody does. And even though I'm not currently being a teacher or anything, I was in school to be a teacher. So, like, I get it. I get I can kind of like, I don't know what it is. I don't like, because nobody told me like you have to be a teacher. Like that was not something that was told to me. Nobody said you had to be a nurse. Like I get if you go to your family and your family says you have to do this, but I think military families are similar, as in there's a mix of parents telling you like you have to go because it'll pay for college or it'll do this, or you see it happening, like you saw somebody in your family go to the military, your uncle, your dad, your brother, your mom, I don't know, your sister, your cousin, I don't know, whoever it is, they went to the military, they came back, and their life was better in some ways and probably worse in ways that you didn't know. But you saw it as a viable option to have a better life or to have a life equivalent to the one you grew up in, maybe. Like if you're in like a military family, the military is basically always an option. Like me, no. Like that's not, I don't think anybody in my immediate family, like when I say immediate family, I don't mean like immediate, I mean like direct, I guess, like my parents, my grandparents, my great grandparents. None of them, like my great grandparents, it's a different story. It was like, you know, the Vietnam War and stuff. So they like they had, but great grandmother was a nurse. So it's like it's just different. But like I will say I have more respect for somebody that goes to the military but is like a medic than I do for somebody that goes to the military and they're like, you know, I don't know, a drone operator. That is very weird, and I do think something is wrong with you. Like I know like maybe you don't go into the military saying you want to do that, but when they give you that assignment, like I know once you're in the military, you're in there and you really can't like leave the same way. You might have to go to jail. I don't know. The situation is, you know, but I haven't been in a situation where I had to think about it. Like, there's just been so many like me thinking about other people's thought processes and their humanity. And yeah, like anyways, the trans woman is like, yeah, I'm a defense contractor, or she's like, yeah, I make she was like, yeah, I make the motors for the rockets. And it's like, oh, so you blow up the children. And they're like framing it as like some sort of leftist thing. Like, oh, you get to be trans and blow up children or whatever. And that's like the American left. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, but that's not what we's doing. That is like, I need true American leftism or whatever, leftist ideology. Like that is, you need to go pick up a book and you need to read like Huey P. Newton. You need to read Black scholars. You need to read Pan Africanist, third worldist Black scholars. Like you need to, and like you need, like that is, to me, is what American like leftists are. But whatever. That's not really the conversation I'm having. This conversation is about the humanity of other people. But I had to get something. But like on the humanity thing, like another thing that was happening on this lovely internet was that, first off, I hate when I just end up interacting with something that like gets me annoyed, because like I'm not on my phone all day. I have a job. Duh. I have a job. So when you have a job, you like open your phone like maybe like, I don't know, a couple times. Like most of the time I open my phone and change the music, or like stand there and I reply to a text message, or like something like that. Like that's what I usually am doing. But I went on Twitter and I saw this little red button, blue button thing. And then I interacted with one red button, blue button post, and then I got stuck. I got stuck. My entire Twitter became red button, blue button discourse. And it was mostly showing me red button people. And what I'm going to tell you is that I think something is wrong with that brain. Like, first off, they're like, oh, if you're doing this, like, you're sacrificing yourself for whatever, whatever, whatever. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Me pressing the blue button, so the prompt is like, you have two buttons, right? Um, if you press the red button, so basically, so you have two buttons. If blue gets over 50% of the votes, everybody that presses blue and who doesn't press blue, everybody survives, right? Everybody lives. But if blue gets under 50% of the votes, then everybody who presses red lives and whoever pressed blue dies, right? And so people are like, you need to press red. You need to press red so you live. Because I'm like, what? I need to press red so I live? But then I'm like I guess I get it, kind of. I like kind of get it, but the rationale that they use doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you realize you pressing the red button contributes to the fact that the blue button people die when everybody, because they're like, everybody should just press red and live. It's that simple. Or everybody just press blue and nobody dies. Like because they're painting it as red is the save yourself button. Blue is not the kill yourself button unless you press red. Like, if you press red, then blue is the people die button. But if you're pressing blue, blue is the everybody lives button. You are pressing red because that brain doesn't work. That brain doesn't work at all. And like red people actually are the ones with no stake. Like, they're pressing the button and they have no stake because blue wins, they still live. Blue loses, they still live. And it's like, okay, whatever. Like you, why are you mad at people for pressing blue if you are choosing to press red? You're choosing to kill those people that press blue. Like, when you could just press the blue button and hope that everybody else thinks the blue button is the everybody lives button. And then if red wins, I'm like, okay, fine, because the red button people are crazy. Mostly because, like, I would be like, okay, whatever, they're not crazy if they didn't sound crazy talking about the thing on Twitter. But they sound crazy. And then half of them are like Nazi accounts. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to be left with y'all. If blue loses, thank you, because I don't want to be on the red planet. Like, I don't want to be on the red planet. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is so dumb. This is so dumb. I'm interacting with so much dumb stuff online. And then I'm just like, ugh. There's just been so many things. Like, I've just been thinking about so many things recently. And, like, this video is probably completely, like, incoherent almost. But I don't know, like, I need everybody to, like, I'm not saying I need everybody to boss up. Some people need to boss down. And they need to just chillax. And they need to look at the world and open their hearts up to what life can be. To the humanity of others and their own humanity in themselves. And to relinquish, like, levels of selfishness that they're holding. Like, here's another thing. There's, like, this game that came out. So, I'm playing Tomodachi Life. That's the game that... Oh, Tomodachi Life. Whatever. Tomodachi Life, I'm playing that. You know, it's Nintendo Sims. But, then there's, like, some other people and they're playing, like, this game called, like, Pragmata or whatever. And it was just very weird. Like, seeing the videos and, like, I never actually, I saw one video of gameplay. And the one video of gameplay I saw was kind of funny because, it was this guy and he was like, she's the weapon, like the little robot girl is, like, hacking or other robots or whatever, and it was funny. But like these people are like, I think it says something that they're playing a game and there's this robot like weapon girl, and they're like this little robot weapon girl that is pretending to act like a little kid is gonna reverse the birth rate or something like. And then I was like, wait, something is wrong with y'all. They like, I think it's okay to have like a level of, I won't say like concern, but I do think like you have to look at what is happening. There's going to be the we have to look at the facts. People are not having children. They're not having children enough to support the generations of people like millennials. They need to start popping out some kids. I'm not lying. Because if millennials don't have kids, enough kids, okay? Gen Z, who some of Gen Z are children of millennials. My mom is a millennial, right? But most Gen Z are children of Gen X. Gen X and Gen X is like supported by and millennial and Gen Z workforce, right? But millennials not having that many children, and Gen Z just now getting to like most of us can have kids, like not like physically, biologically most of us can have kids at now. Like most of Gen Z is not little children anymore, and most of them are actually adults now. So adults have children. Like that's what you want to encourage. You want to encourage adults to have children, right? So millennials not really having kids that much. I think I don't know the numbers or whatever, but I think most millennials did not have kids until they turned 30. But which I don't think is a problem. But they're also not having that many kids. Like most people are not having kids. And like it's like, well, okay, whatever. Gen Z, we're pushing. The 30s are looking at the oldest of Gen Z are staring at 30 with bright wide eyes. 30 is in their horizons. They're seeing it. They're approaching it. 30 is getting very close. And I don't even know what the numbers are for Gen Z, but I don't think Gen Z is having kids. Like there's some people that are having kids, but like most of the people that I know that had kids like had them young. So it's only like the young parents. Like these are first kid at like 18, 19. Like those are the young parents. So the Gen Z that I know that have kids are young parents. I don't know anybody that's been married yet. A couple of my friends have been to weddings. I have not been to a wedding of anybody my age. Like if I'm being so real, I don't know when I'm gonna be to a wedding of somebody my age. But that's neither here nor there. But yes, I think it's okay to like talk about the like birth rate or whatever, but these people are talking about it from like a weird angle. Because I am concerned that when I do have kids, because I'm not gonna completely shut myself off from it. I was like a bit like doomsday about it because I was like, oh my gosh, like the world is horrible, climate change or whatever. And then I was like, wait, I'm not living in the worst time to be alive in human history. I exist because somebody had a baby 100,000 years ago or whatever, or 10,000 years ago. They had a baby in the worst time to be alive as a human. Okay? So I'm not in the worst situation that I could be. Standards of living have gotten higher, and my standard of what living should be is very high now. And that's really the case for like, I think all of Gen Z. All of Gen Z is like, I don't want to have kids until I have the standard of living that I want to have. And also, there's people that are like, I don't want to risk the standard of living I have right now to have kids and live, not comfortably. And I think that's valid. So the government needs to lock in and make, living easier so that people will have kids, because having kids doesn't seem like a complete, because having kids is already selfish, right? So you can't then tell somebody that doesn't want to have kids for another different type of selfish reason that they're being selfish. These are two selfish, two, three, whatever, how many options you get. Every single one of those options is going to be perceived as selfish. Having the kid the first place is selfish. Not having the kid in the other places selfish, or whatever. Every single option you have in this idea of having or not having children is a kind of selfish decision you have to make. Like, it is. It doesn't matter. All of these decisions are about self. Having the kid is about self because you want the kid. You don't need to have a kid. Not having the kid is about self because you don't want to change your lifestyle. Like, that's just what it is. Like, it literally is just that. And I don't know. All I'm saying is, when I finally have kids, I don't want them to be the only kid in the class. I don't want them to be in a class of one. I want them to have friends their age. Like, I don't. Yes, I will be taking my child to brunch with me and all my friends. But I don't want my child's friends to be all grown women. Like, that's the problem. That's the real problem. I don't want them to have no friends and nobody their age, because I had them at a time where nobody wanted to have any kids, and all the kids that were had were either by accident or, yeah, not completely wanted because of these abortion laws. Like, I don't know. Humanity, the future is looking like something, but I don't know yet. The future is not clear to me. I feel like for most people the future is not clear, but right now the future is really not clear to me. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know, anything could happen, really. The sun could blow up. The sun's not going to blow up tomorrow. That was a bad example. But anything could happen. I just feel like I'm just like, it's not a limbo, it's like something else. It's not purgatory. I don't feel like everything's still. I just feel like everything is moving, but in like an unpredictable type of way. Like, so it's just interesting. But yeah, I don't know. People, man.